and welcome to Punks for Progress. My name is Punker Mike. Joining me, as always, my brother, our co-host, Aaron Alvarez. What's up, dude?
Dude, hi.
Dude.
What you doing?
I'm recording another Punks for Progress. We had a big fun this weekend, and we want to tell everybody all about it.
I'm excited to tell you. You know what's the coolest thing about what we get to tell people about? Is that our janky little podcast was at 3 of the major women's marches this last weekend.
Well, yeah, there's 2 of us. I went to 1 and you went to 2 because there were 2 pretty close together. So.
Yeah, I know. That makes it sound less grandiose, though. So thanks for that, asshole.
Let's get real, man. Just keep it real, dude.
So Mike went to the LA fucking protest, demonstration. It was amazing. I went to Oakland and San Francisco, and we have images and video and all kinds of stuff to show and to talk about. We're going to tell you all about it. And so that's what we're doing on Punks for Progress today.
That's right. Punks for Progress. Facebook, YouTube, and GoFundMe. And at punks4 on the Twitter.
And I also wanted to say, we've recently put a bunch of work into our YouTube page. Look at it. We've got some new sections up. There's stuff Mike's done on his own bands he's filmed and seen, or just little videos he's made.
Sometimes I get a hair up my butt and decide to make a music video.
Right, and then I have, so that's in Mikey's viddies, and then there's Aaron's viddies, which has, shows I went to, little viddies I've made, and, our personal stuff. And then there's P4P in the Streets, which has all the stuff from Black Lives Matter demonstrations that we at Punks for Progress went to, and the women's marches, and future anything that will be. We
anticipate marching much more.
Quite a bit. So there will be lots of P4P in the Streets videos. So take a close look at it, cruise through our page, and it's set up really nice. There's a lot of really fun stuff outside of our ridiculous political rantings. There's just cool music and other interesting content. So we're taking a look at it.
All right.
And subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Please. It means so much, and we appreciate it. We have 23 subscribers. Let's make it like 27.
And send us your artwork, man. Facebook or whatever. Twitter.
Yes.
Send us your artwork. I'll put it in the show.
Send us
what it is and what it's on.
Send us raw video of your band.
Sure.
If you can send us the raw file of your band, through like a Dropbox or email or whatever, we'll throw that shit in there too, Anyway.
Should we play some music now?
Play some fucking punk rock, and then let's tell them about the most amazing, you know what, Mike? You know what we're going to get to tell people about? Our experience at what is quite possibly the largest movement of sovereignty in human history. The Women's March on Washington. A global march, bro. Incredible experience.
What's the matter, man? Rollins band.
What's the matter, man? Is the time not right? What's the matter? The Home Secretary, Mr. Douglas Hurd, said anarchist groups had been in London stirring up trouble, and he warned that the police are ready to use CS gas and plastic bullets. He said, "I will not shrink from such a decision." It was the worst rioting ever seen on mainland Britain. All the police attempted to do was hold their ground. Organisation amongst the rioters was apparent, with crates of petrol bombs being moved up and some groups assigned to dig up paving slabs and other masonry for use as ammunition. The onslaught on the police lines were relentless and merciless. Small groups of police were hurt by pellets and the .38 bullet. The rioters forced the policemen to retreat.
All right, I just played Rollins Band, What's the Matter, Man? After that, I played Conflict, Ungovernable Force.
Yeah.
what you just saw were my videos from the Women's March in downtown LA. So I started off with us marching down Hill Street. Me just walking down the middle of the street with in front of with a bunch of people in front of me, and then we got to the city hall there, and I don't know what the building was. We were on the steps across the street from the city hall, and there was a big stage out there, and some guy was playing American Beautiful, and then Star Spangled Banner and stuff on his guitar. It was pretty cool. Anyways,
we saw other people play on that stage before, haven't we?
I don't know. I don't remember anything like that, man. It was just set up right there, and it was in almost like a vacant lot right in front of
The
City
Chili
Hall.
Peppers L7 and Thelonious
No,
played on
no,
this.
that wasn't it. It wasn't there. This was a
It's a
completely
different spot.
thing. Yeah, the
Oh,
whole
okay,
thing.
okay.
And that was so goddamn long ago. It's not like I remember what that was like.
Sure. Well, that was at the first. So the listeners know what we're talking about. That was talking about the first Desert Storm, the first war in Iraq.
No, that was at the Federal Building downtown LA, and then the other one in Westwood. Anyway, let me tell you how the day went, bro. I mean, I was.
You had a second video there too, right? Didn't you put up?
Those were the two videos. Yeah, one was the march, and then the next one was the guy playing guitar there and on the stage where everybody spoke and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
But I mean,
Tell me all about LA, man. Tell me about how amazing it was, bro.
I just got fortunate that it worked out that I didn't have the kids, or my girlfriend wasn't going to be in town. She was at a thing down in San Diego this weekend, so I had the opportunity, and I decided to take it. I noticed that a couple of my friends on Facebook were going, and so I texted her and I said, "Hey, you guys going to the march, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, we're going to go. We're taking the train down there." And I'm like, "Oh my God, I had thought about that, but I'm like, well, if you're going to do that, I'll just grab the train to San Bernardino, where it starts, and then I'll pick you guys up in Upland." And then we'll shoot out to L.A. And then from there you take the red line down like a couple of stops into Pershing Square where the march was supposed to start. And so the first train left at 7 o'clock. So I'm like, all right, I want to make sure I get there in plenty of time, And I was real nervous, real excited about it. And I got there at 6:40, bro. And the line to get on the train was like just huge. I could not believe it. The parking lot was full. People were waiting in line trying to get tickets, and there was only one ticket machine because the other two were broken down, and people didn't know what to do, and it was almost like chaos already. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning, and there's freaking chaos there already. And fortunately, the dude from the Metrolink came out and was like, "Look, guys, it's only one ticket. Only one ticket machine going. Most of you guys are going downtown LA. Just get your tickets when you get down there, okay? It's not a problem." So. Apparently, we started loading on the train, and I swear to God, I text Tracy, and I'm like, "Dude, there's not going to be any room for you." I really thought the train was going to be full, and it was decently full when we left San Bernardino, and we had 2 stops before we got to Upland, and we got to Upland, and it was full.
Wow.
And the next stop after Upland was Claremont, and
just to clarify, it's all people headed to LA for the women's.
All people
correct?
headed to LA, except for the 5 people that happened to be going to work that day.
Right. And for people who aren't familiar with California, give them a rough idea of how far it is from where you started on the train to actually get to LA. You're not up the street from LA, bro. You're not around the corner from LA.
Driving it myself with no traffic is going to take a little over an hour. So it's a good 65 miles, I think, maybe 70 miles from where I am. With traffic, it's an hour and a half easy. So that's kind of what I expected. So, I mean, yeah, I'm way in San Bernardino. So, I mean, if you're familiar with the San Bernardino, shootings, they'll kind of give you a distance from L.A. I mean, that's kind of basically where I caught the train, was right close to where that took place.
Right.
So we get to Claremont. We're not even – we're just barely into L.A. County. We still haven't got to Alhambra and El Monte and
right.
and Cal State LA. Cal State LA is like the last stop before you get into Union Station, and it was so the train station at Claremont was so packed. It was so packed that they filled the train to capacity. And they were like, there's no more room, people. You can't get on. And then we
Wow.
took there for 5 minutes. Yeah, we had to stop at every other stop on the way there. But as we stopped, people would be like, "You can't get on. Sorry, there's no room. We're not taking anybody on. There'll be another train in an hour."
Wow.
An hour. So we were turning people away after Claremont. I mean, we got Pomona and
Damn, you got lucky catching the train you did.
I really did. I mean, Tracy sat next to me, and her friend Brandy straddled her legs the whole way there, standing up.
Wow. Wow.
We at one point, before you get into Cal State LA, the Metrolink comes up next, like in between the 10 freeway, like right level with the cars and stuff. And this, you got to consider, this train is 2 decks filled to capacity.
Oh, wow.
With people with signs and sitting on each other's lap and standing. I mean, filled to capacity with pink hats, and people on the freeway are waving at us and honking their horns.
A sea of pink hats with little ears, a little pussy hat.
It was amazing. One of the girls we ended up hooking up with said that there was a lady on the train that had knitted a bag full of these. She's sitting there knitting pink hats, handing them out to people.
Knitting while she was live knitting.
While they were going, she said she was actually knitting, but she had a basket full of them, or a bag that she was just handing out to people. I read an article recently that the yarn stores ran out of pink yarn.
Wow.
Because so many people. The bottom line is, bro, nobody expected this. Nobody there when in San Bernardino expected it to be that bad. Nobody nobody driving the train expected it to be filled to capacity. They were amazed. We pulled into Union Station, and people were cheering us as we're getting off the train. We finally made our way through Union Station and down to the metro, down to the Red Line, and the station was packed. The Red Line's the subway that goes underneath the city.
Okay.
And going down, it was freaking packed, and those things run every 15 minutes. Once we got on the trains and got to Pershing Square to go up and out, it bottlenecked because there was only like one escalator and one row of stairs, and we were probably in there for 10, 15, 20 minutes, packed in like sardines, people with signs. All of a sudden a cheer would go through the crowd, if somebody would say something. Some people start singing there. I mean, some people start chanting here and there, but I mean, it were so many people that from even on the other side, the blue lines from North Hollywood and stuff were packed, filled to capacity. So we finally got out there, and the streets were filled to capacity. We could barely get out of the damn train station, bro. We got out. We made our way. I'm trying to get to the street. I couldn't even get to the street. We rounded the corner, and there was a liquor store right there, and a guard was standing there because it was just so full, right? And the girls went in and got bottles of water and came out, and I was shoved up against the side of the store there, and just dude, I couldn't even see to the other side of the street. It was a sea of people. And we tried to move through there. We were probably stuck in that crowd for a good 10, 15, 20 minutes. And then people finally started moving. And it wasn't even organized. It was just, there were so many people, it was just filled to capacity. They started having to fill the streets up. So they finally started moving down 5th. And once we started moving down, I guess it was Hill, we started moving downhill. They had booths set up with different organizations, different progressive organizations and women's organizations handing out pamphlets and different things. There were food trucks, that you could go and buy food from. The most awesome thing I saw, there was a group of Muslim people handing out water, and they were handing out food, and it looked like it was curried garbanzo beans, curried chickpeas, over jasmine rice. The little bowls of this they were handing out to anybody that wanted it. And I'm like,
that sounds glorious, dude.
Fucking kidding me. Fucking Muslims. Goddamn fucking Muslims. They're just fucking this place up.
But just to clarify, there were like little suicide bombers in each bowl of food, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay.
It was just incredibly awesome. It was the nicest people, man.
Sure.
And then we just kept walking downhill to 5th Street, to in front of the City Hall there. And like I said, big vacant lot and a big stage there. And I saw that there was people, steps of this building, and I don't know which building it is. And I ran up to this corner of these steps as high as I could, and it just filled into capacity. I mean, it was just amazing. And this guy's playing guitar, and people got up and started speaking. And
so did you get there before its scheduled time to begin?
I should have, according to the bus schedule. Yes,
Okay.
I left. Yeah, we left San Bernardino 7. We should have pulled into Union Station at 8:30, and that would have given us until the march was supposed to start at 10.
Okay.
But we were all supposed to meet there at 9 to make signs. However, it seemed like everybody already had signs.
Sure.
So
Sure.
yeah, we got there. We got there as soon as we could. That was the
Cool,
first.
cool. So the reason I asked that is because you were able to hear like the initial speakers, then do the march, and then see a bit of the demonstration at the end of the march.
Well, there was really no necessarily speakers at the beginning of the march. The march it was so filled to capacity. The march just kind of happened because there was no room for anybody else to go.
Sure.
They had to work their way down Fifth Street, otherwise they were clogged to capacity. Pershing Square was just filled with people. So it just, I didn't.
So they did when you first got there. There wasn't like a stage set up and all that stuff at the beginning point. It was just people just kind of gathered and then started marching, and then they had speakers and music and stuff at the end. Is that correct?
There was no gathering, bro. It was like you were okay. You know how when you're trying to get out of a concert. Okay, you go to a gig and you're trying to get out the door and everything bottlenecks, and you're just standing in a sea of people that move about 2 feet. No matter how hard you try, there's no place you can go.
Right, I get that. And so that's what was going on when you first got there. And then you go in the march and
we
you
just
go down your route, right?
We just noticed people walking that way down the street, and I'm like, let's go. So
you
people
went
were
with
like,
the sea of the flow. You went with the flow, and then it ended at a certain point, and
it ended at the stage. Yeah,
music.
it ended at the stage. The dude was playing the guitar when I got there, and then they had speakers come out and speak, and I couldn't tell you who they were, bro. I think one was an LA City Council woman. That spoke about women's rights, and then there was a guy that got up there, and he seemed pretty progressive, spoke about equal rights and stuff for people. And then they just had some speakers, and then we started just kind of filtering out. By that point, we were tired and thirsty and hungry.
Sure. How long did it take you to march from the clusterfuck to the stage?
Well, we started marching, and it's like, hey, this is the march, and we're all down in the middle of the street.
You're like, oh, we're marching.
Right. I'm like, I guess this is the march. So, but then we were in the street, and the street was lined with taco trucks on one side and booths on the other side, basically, but the sidewalks were open. So I'm like, oh, sidewalk. So we went over to the sidewalk and stopped and hung out for a minute, and like, like when I got the garbanzo beans from the Muslim Americans there, we just pulled over to the side underneath, on the side of the street, dude. It's like when we were in Hollywood. You're just walking down the street and you just like pull over. So yeah, so it was like, okay, it was nice to be able to get out and step aside, and I just was watching this sea of people, and it was like a river, just a river of people and signs walking down the street with pink hats and stuff, and
I mean, we're talking at least 50,000-60,000 people in LA, right, Mike?
Well, the last estimates that we got, and I checked this morning, was 750,000 people. They were expecting 80,000, and they got 750. The protesters basically took over the streets, and out of that 750,000 people, LAPD reported no arrests.
None
whatsoever.
None.
So it was incredible. The spirit was incredible. Everybody there were kids everywhere, little kids. And I'm like, wow, it's so cool. Look, dude, just activists on the way, man.
Yeah.
And, I was standing there listening to the guy talk, and I looked over next to me, and there's a group of about 4, 5, 6 kids sitting in a circle playing cards, playing fish. And the other guy goes, look, no, here, this is how you do it. And he was showing the other kid how to play.
They're playing fish?
I'm like, that's so cool. And the elderly people that were there, all these old ladies, man, I'm like, damn, I'm already tired. I'm cruising the streets with my docks on, so my feet are kind of sore a little bit, and I'm like, damn, these old ladies doing this, I got to keep doing this too. And the signs they had, the signs were great.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
One said, I can't believe I still have to protest this shit. And then this one, I walked by this one old lady. She's got this little teeny sign, like she's a homeless old lady or something. But she had this little teeny sign, and it says, "I'm too old for this shit." And I'm like, that's so cool. It's
Right.
to see, a generation that's older than mine, because
Right.
it seems like my generation is part of what's fucked up around right now.
Right.
And I also point the finger at the generation above me, because I remember a lot of racist shit out of that generation.
Yeah.
So to
Right.
see somebody from that generation, my parents' generation,
Sure.
do something like this, it was amazing and inspiring. And then we finally filtered our way out, got through there, and we ended up trying to head our way back to Pershing Square so we could jump on the train and take it back to Union Station. And we ended up running into their friends that they were going to hook up with.
Oh, okay.
And so we all started hanging out. We're like, hey, this is what we're going to do. And they're like, well, let's go. So we all ended up going back to Union Station. And Brandy knew of a little barbecue joint that was in walking distance. So we walked over there, and they had an hour wait. And so we're like, okay, let's wait. So we sat on the street there and hung out and chit-chatted, and we actually sat on the freaking sidewalk waiting for our table. But it was
That
awesome.
sounds great, though. That sounds great.
It was. We finally got a
Yeah.
table. We had good times. We sat around and talked. We talked a little bit about our podcast. We talked about progressive issues. And we'd bring stuff up, this one lady I was talking to, oh yeah, I heard that the other day, and I'm like, oh my
Right.
God, I heard that on Tom Hartman, and
Right.
it's like, these people were privy to the same information that we have,
Exactly. Right.
which was fantastic. But
Right.
it has definitely inspired me. I already got on my phone last night and started looking for progressive organizations in my area, and I'm actually going to go to a expo on Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Here in San Bernardino. I'm going to have to look it up. I can't remember what it is by name. The picture will
Sure.
be up, but when I do the show, it'll be there.
Right.
But
Right. Right.
I'm going to this next Saturday, and it should be a place where a lot of these progressive organizations, I think it's called the Progressive Alliance of the Inland Empire.
Okay. So it'll be a bunch of different progressive, like a forum for
Right.
different progressive organizations meeting. That sounds
Exactly.
amazing, dude. That sounds really amazing.
Because I want to get involved, and then I've got a contact from the Bernie Sanders campaign that I'm gonna try to get a hold of and see exactly what kind of activism she's doing right now.
Okay.
Tom Morello tweeted this morning, or got on Facebook this morning, and said, one fantastic march on one day is one huge march on one day is fantastic, but it's going to take more than that. So,
Right. Right. Well, I've posted some kind of the same sentiment the night of the protest. Just like, this is amazing, and but my thing was like, the elite don't care. The elite, yeah, they're like, it might bother them that this happened, but it's not like they're going to go, oh well, we better stop being evil and shitty people though. Then because they all went to the streets. No, they're like fucking annoying, like human beings that like want the same a tenth of our life. They're not going to stop being shitty, evil people who want to oppress us. But what is happening, and I'm so glad that you gave a literal example of what I'm about to describe, bro, is people found information and resources at these protests too. They didn't just go and carry signs. They met other people. There were all kinds of booths at every one of them so that they could go to things like you're going to go to this weekend, right? And so I think that a lot of people are going to stay involved. And I can tell you that is the gist and the tone that I'm getting from people is like, it's no big surprise or wake up call that, yeah, you have to keep going. This just starts now. Now it's serious. Now you keep going, you keep doing this. This doesn't end today. And it's super encouraging, man. It's just super encouraging. And
to see such a turnout worldwide
I do.
one day after that inauguration was incredible. The largest demonstration after an inauguration in our American history.
No, Michael, it is literally the largest demonstration in American history. I read statistics. There's nothing in Vietnam that surpassed it. There was one, I believe it was an AIDS demonstration that had 1 million. That was like peaked over over 1 million at one time. Now, if you take the full culmination of every Vietnam protest over a few years, the numbers might get bigger, but
At one day.
at one time, this was hands down by far the largest protest in American history. And then I've been saying this is if you factor in all the demonstrations from so many countries all over the world, that it's got to be the largest single sovereign voice
Aaron,
in human history.
Aaron, think about this, my brother. Think about all those people we left at the train station that didn't go.
God.
How many of those people that got left at the train stations? I was only one fucking line. There's a Riverside line, and there's lines from the Valley going into LA, and they were the same thing. They were packed and filled to capacity. How many of those people that got left at the train station didn't fucking go?
Right.
And if it was available for them to go, how big do you think that demonstration would have been, bro? One of the things I kept saying all day long, I don't give a fuck what those oligarchs think about our demonstration. Bottom line is, there's more of us than there are of them.
Fucking totally. Actually, I have a question, bro. Did you have like issues with internet connection, even when you're just using your regular? Because like, dude, my text messages wouldn't send, and it was like.
Yeah, let me tell you why though.
Because there's so many fucking people, right?
No, because there's so many fucking buildings, bro. I was standing next to this huge ass building, 30 stories high, and it's like I'm not going to get a signal when I'm underneath the awning of this building. I would have to step outside of the awning in order to get a signal. But once I was outside like that, I did. But when I'm marching down the street and I'm between, two, I've got buildings on both sides that are, 20, 30 stories high, you're not going to get a good signal there.
I got you.
That's what I chalked it up to. So
I ain't no big city folk, man. From Reno.
Well,
we got 5 or 9 big old buildings in Reno, but that's bad.
There were plenty of surveillance cameras. I saw them all over the place. I tell you, I saw 4 cops. I saw 2 in Union Station, 2 sheriffs in Union Station. I saw a few cars around, driving around and stuff, but not a huge motherfucking presence at all. I saw 2 burly dudes decked out at Union Station from the sheriff's department. Then they were kind of scary looking. I'm like, you guys scare me more than whatever. Anyways, and then at the building, on the steps that we were standing on of this building across from the square where this was, there was 2 cops standing there in front of the building. The building was closed, obviously, because it was Saturday. And they were just standing on the steps in front of the building, and they had Homeland Security badges on. But they were LAPD, I guess. They had black uniforms. But they had a little thing on it that said, HLS. So I figured that's what that was.
Yeah. What else is HLS?
But no, there was no incidents at all. One of the dudes was sitting there rapping back and forth, probably talking about brewing beer at home. I mean, who knows? I mean, they were just doing shit.
I've seen pictures and footage of like cops wearing pink hats and shit. It's like there was just absolutely no good reason for cops to do anything. They just needed to kick back and let this thing happen. Everybody at all the protests, man, was just like so caught up in the, wow, isn't this amazing that we all like, it was cathartic cathartic and therapeutic for everybody, dude.
Really
everybody needed that so bad because everyone was like, holy shit, what just happened? And it's not like, the one of the main criticisms is, you're over there fucking, whining and crying because you lost the election. I didn't see any whining and crying going on, dude. I saw people invigorated, incredibly.
I didn't see. I was trying to describe it to a friend, and I was, I didn't want to say, well, people are angry because nobody seemed angry to me.
Nobody
out there seemed angry at all whatsoever, and which was weird because I'm pissed. I'm pissed my democracy got taken over.
I am too, bro.
I'm pissed because I feel like the election was stolen. Right? But it was not, that energy was not there. I'm going to sound like a goddamn hippie.
Well, no, what it was, man, is the general tone is that everybody got together. Everyone was just like, you know what? We're doing this. I don't know what else to do. I think everyone in America that didn't like Trump, okay, felt kind of lost and abandoned and frightened and betrayed and like maybe powerless too. And then when everyone showed up and we saw the thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people who felt exactly the same way we did, everyone was just like, hi, wow, this is rad. Are you rad? I'm rad. Let's go be rad. Wow, this is rad. Isn't it rad? Yeah, it is. Wow, this is rad. Can I hug you? Totally. You know,
There
I mean,
was,
so
there
it's
was
just ecstatic exuberance and love. And so it's not about hippie, it's about human connections, man. It was about us realizing that the masses of humanity are against this bullshit. Everything Trump said
all over
about
the world.
silent majority, this bullshit about silent majority was proven to be bullshit.
Absolutely.
On the Women's March, because the mass majority of the human race said, "Oh, hell no, dude.
Let me
Fuck you.
Let
We
me
love
make a
each
comment
other
on that. One of the ladies asked me, she's like, what do you think people around the world think about him being our president? And I said, apparently they feel the same way we do. And maybe now they see that a majority of people are protesting this president. So they're not all dumbasses that voted for him.
Yeah, because European friends will ask you, like, dude, what are you guys doing? What is wrong with America? They think, because of the way the mainstream media is geared and stuff, that all of America is like, fuck yeah, Donald Trump, we're down. And now, the rest of the world got to see like, oh, no, you guys aren't digging that dude. Thank God. Because I think Europeans and people, well, not just Europeans, but people in other countries outside the United States, I think they thought, have all of the American people lost their fucking mind or what? It's like, no, they haven't. Just the few that had lost their mind a long time ago somehow managed to steal control. That's all it is. Don't worry, rest of the world.
Somebody on Twitter called them gun-toting cousin fuckers. Oh my God! All right, let's.
You know what? Didn't you? We got these. You put together a little montage video, man. That it kind of gives an overview of what we did, and
it's just a little video of the day, of my view, my perception of things that I saw. So enjoy that. We're gonna play a couple punk rock songs, and then
come back and hear my stories.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was a teenage anarchist looking for revolution. I had the style, I had the ambition, read all the authors, I knew the rock slogans. There was a war about the class war, I was ready to set the world on fire. I was a teenage anarchist looking for revolution.
Some people think little girls should be seen and not heard, but I think, oh, bondage! Up yours! 1, 2, 3, 4!
true, you know. They say they got control of you, and that's a lie, you know. They say you'll never be free, free, free.
Okay, I just played X-Ray Specs, Oh Bondage Up Yours, Stiff Little Fingers, Alternative Ulster. And what we just saw there was the Pink Jazz Band from the Oakland March, Women's March on
Right,
on
exactly.
Saturday.
I mean, I don't know that they were called that. That's what I've been calling it, and that's what I labeled it on the video on YouTube. But they were fucking great, man. I just loved them to death, man. I hung out with them, just around them for a while. They were just so fun, man, and musically just totally entertaining. And I mean, you just gotta love an old guy in a pink dress blowing on a clarinet.
Right.
Man. It's just,
There was when I was stuck on the corner there by the liquor store, there was a band there. There was just a trombone and a drum, and it was just kind of, it almost reminded me of like a football game, like the band at a football game. There was like a trombone and a dude with a drum, and
Sure.
and you know, and a guy with a trumpet, and you know, it's so like I said, it sounded like a small band at a football game, but just kind of kept a beat, people marching, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But nothing like that jazz band. That dude was rocking. Man.
He's way rocking.
So tell me about your experience in Oakland.
Okay, so I live in Reno, so people might go, well, Oakland, San Francisco. So I actually want to talk about Reno real quick a little bit because obviously I wasn't at the Reno demonstration, and I would have been, and my mom went, dude, and so I would have gone, but I wanted to be at a big giant something. So that's why I went to Oakland and San Francisco, right? So, but I got to give it up for Reno, dude. They're talking 10,000 people. Now, look, man, when 750,000 people in LA is comparison to 10,000 in Reno doesn't seem like much. But I've been to a lot of demonstrations in Reno, bro, and I'm telling you, if 200 people showed up, 200 people would probably be the largest demonstration I've ever seen in Reno. And there was 10,000 people. 10,000 people, dude. So I just want to give it up to me.
I'm telling you, man, nobody expected that kind of a turnout.
No. So anyway, so I was, at a friend's in Benicia, actually visiting, with my girlfriend, and she is in Benicia. So I drove to over the bridge from Benicia Vallejo into Concord, and that at the starting of the BART line, and that's where I caught the BART. experience. And my experience was different. It was super early, and there was nobody on it. The BART train was dead, yo. There was no fun pictures to show from BART. So I took that into Oakland, and I was meeting my buddy Joseph Halsworth, who is going to come on our show within the next couple weeks. So he's
very cool.
And he's a cool cat. So he's a veteran.
How do you know this dude?
From Reno, from Occupy in Reno and Strega Days. And he has written a couple books, one about his experiences in the military, fighting these disgusting wars in the Middle East. And he came back from that. He enlisted and went and fought, did his fucking duty, and he came back and went, wow, I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he came back not happy with what he saw and got involved with Occupy, and that's when I met him. So he's going to come on and talk about his first book, and he has another book that's set for publication very soon. He's going to tell us about that. But anyway, so I was going to meet him and his wife and in Oakland, and that's what I did. So I got off the train. I was there a little early, and it's in essentially the sort of Chinatown of Oakland. And I was there about an hour before I was supposed to meet the Holsworths. And so I just walked around and looked for a place to eat, and it's all, different Asian foods and Chinese food and whatever. And I finally found a place that had some eggs and French toast, and sat down and ate. And then when I first got there, I went and checked where the gathering point was, and there was maybe about 30 or 40 people, and you could see people were kind of starting to show up. By the time I ate and got back, it was an endless stream of people coming out of the BART station, and Joe and Paige showed up, and I met with them, and we cruised around, and not slowly, very quickly filled up massively. You could not move, dude. And I'll tell you this, it's funny, because I was sending you texts in the morning. Make sure you get video of this, and make sure you say that in your video. I was giving you your commands, like some, and which I was not able to achieve most of those, bro, because it was such an immense, overwhelming amount of people. You could hardly move, bro. And I was like, make sure you explain. Well, I was telling you, make sure you let our listeners know what the route is specifically, who specifically organized it, what the speakers are going to be. I wasn't able to ascertain any of that information. Dude, we walked the route, and I still don't even know what route we walked, because thousands and thousands and thousands of people walked it, and you just went with the sea, man.
I was so annoyed with people who were having their phones up to their face because they were texting and walking, and their elbows were out, so it made them wider. I'm like, fucking put your goddamn elbows down. And I'm like, because I'm trying to text you, and I'm like, I can't get my elbows up so I can actually freaking text. And I was like, this was it, dude. We were packed in like sardines.
Totally. And and part of it was you never know what to expect when you kind of go to a demonstration. And there was a part of me that thought, okay, be ready, because we might see things like we saw from the handful of straight up violence from the left on the day of the inauguration. That shit happened, bro. There was some shit that went down. There was windows broken, limos lit on fire. Starbucks, Bank of America had their shit. Violence happened.
Yeah, I've heard that I've already heard that from the right wing.
And that's real. I saw that. I've seen the footage. It's real. Okay, that happened. But so you don't know. I didn't know showing up to this one. Maybe be prepared. And that was one of the reasons why you and I said, okay, we'll text each other on the hour every hour. And if you don't hear from me, give or take 10 minutes, be concerned. Something went down. Dude, there was no need for us to do that. You know what I mean? It was like you usually want to make sure you have a good, strong buddy system or someone to hang out with, so you're just not lost or alone or separated, because shit can happen if a pride test goes bad and you're by yourself. There was just no threat of any of that when you
got even none whatsoever.
Right, and that stuff is real. I think that's important. The things that those kinds of things are important to keep in mind. Like keeping in mind to put milk in your eye instead of water if you get pepper spray. That's important, useful information to have in mind when you go to a demonstration. But you didn't need any of that information for these demonstrations. You just showed up and went, wow, and just jumped in the sea and followed it and celebrated it.
Jumped in. There was no jumping in. I mean, like, at one point I couldn't get down off this huge step. There was about a 5-foot drop off of this little wall to get back to the sidewalk on the street because we couldn't get back down the steps. The steps were so full of this building we were standing on. We had to walk down through the freaking garden, which had been redone with drought-tolerant plants, and I'm sure they're all fucking dead now. But then you had to drop off, 5 feet to this wall, and at one point we're looking at each other and going, man, I think just crowd surf this. Just let me jump off here into the crowd. It was like, I'm sitting on the train, bro, in the corner, stuffed in the corner of this train, and I turned to Tracy and I said, it's a good thing I don't have to pee right now. There was no getting out. So I meet up with Joe and Paige, and we kind of just walked around the original square, and we're looking around and cruising around. And that's when I saw the Pink Jazz Band was kind of early on, and then the march started, and we followed it for a while, and then it was kind of like I would say we probably made about half of the ultimate route, and I wanted to get to San Francisco, so. Got a little more video, a little more footage, took a few shots, and then I walked with Paige and Joe back to BART station, and that's when we went our separate ways. And at that point, one of the things that was important, and this is what that they suggested to me, because I don't know the Bay Area, dude, and I don't know BART. It's the second time I've ever ridden BART in my life, dude, okay? So, they were like, it probably is, when they were like, hey man, we're going to go because we don't want to get clusterfucked in the BART station. He's like, and we would suggest if you are going to San Francisco, you should probably go now too, and you might beat the crowd. And I barely did, dude, barely. But it was still jam-packed. There was still already people. And anyway, you know what, why don't we play, I was going to say.
I made a video just like the one Mike made, of my Oakland experience, the overall Oakland experience, and then you got a couple more songs queued up, right, bro?
Yeah, I do. So we're gonna play your little video of the Oakland March. I'm gonna
play progress on the March in Oakland,
and then I'm gonna play Bad Brains and Gen X.
Do it, yo.
Time, baby, would you please open your mind? All the pebbles that you're so old, and don't forget to share the wine. Let's go inside. Liberate the spirit, start the fight. Would you love it if I endured you suck the life out of your blood? Someday you will hear when forever comes around. Is it a cry? Disappearing dreamers, lovers die. Get out! Get out!
logo all fit together.
You can find us on Instagram, SF Poster Signature.
Is the white one too big?
Excuse me.
Say! That's a senior with great.
All right, that was Aaron's video from the San Francisco March. And before that, we had a couple of songs. What did I play? Generation X, Your Generation, and Bad Brains, Pay to Come.
Yes, good song.
So, tell me about San Francisco.
Okay, so I depart from veteran and author Joseph Holsworth and company, and make my way on board into San Francisco. I get there, and I was about an hour before the scheduled time that it was going to start. But, oh, no. Gotta back up.
All right.
I get off the BART in San Francisco, and instantly the first thing I'm confronted with is like thousands of people with all carrying the same exact pro-life sign. And I'm just confused. Like, what? This demonstration, dude, that they did, this pro-life demonstration that I saw was a Catholic pro-life demonstration that had representatives from every single diocese, thousands upon thousands. This is something that was in the works and planning for a long time. You
Right.
can tell this is a very uniform. Maybe their message was to Donald Trump that the world is pro-life, maybe that they wanted to say. But I don't know this for sure, bro, but it's my impression and my understanding thus far that it just happens to turn out that demonstration was going on the same day that the Women's March came.
Oh, well, I don't think that's a coincidence, since there was one in Exposition Park in Los Angeles.
But was
at the
it a
same
Catholic
time.
run? Was it run
Yes.
by the Catholic? Okay, so then that tells me again that it is a coincidence.
No, it's not.
It is, because they were both sending a message for the day after the inauguration. They were not sending I don't think that pro-life demonstration was sending a message to the Women's March demonstrators. They were sending that message to Washington. That was my impression. The demonstration in LA, the pro-life one, took a completely different route, starting point to finish point, than the Women's March did. They didn't coincide. It's just when I walked off the BART, I instantly had it. And I followed it because I assumed it had something to do with the demonstration I was going to. It took me to the totally wrong direction. I actually kind of got lost in San Francisco, and it took me a while to find my way to the Women's March, right? And they just, there was no crossover between the two.
That's interesting. Talking with one of my friends who apparently gets a lot of news from the right side, had said something about how pro-life. He's definitely pro-life. How pro-life women were told not to come.
Okay.
And I'm like, no, wait, no, hang on, let me finish. And I'm like, I know, well, hang on, I can too. And they said that, and that Madonna wanted to blow up the White House. And I'm like, what
Madonna can suck it. Fuck Madonna.
Well, hang on. And I'm like, what the fuck? Where'd you get this from? So I'm on Twitter last night, and then I see a story. Carly Fiorina did an interview yesterday and said that the Women's March asked the pro-life women, told the pro-life women that they don't want them to be there. And it was like, no, that's not true. There was plenty of people. In fact, there was a lady that was like, no, because I was marching right next to one. I'm like, that's just more propaganda from the right wing. But I think they wanted to throw that out there and make that, put that spin on it, that this was a pro-choice rally. It's a women's equality pro-choice. And let me tell you, there were signs with uteruses on them everywhere.
Right.
But there was that aspect of it too. And then, because isn't that what you were going to say? Was that interview with Carly Fiorina?
No, what I was going to say is just that, like, Madonna gave a speech.
She gave a speech and said that she had considered blowing up the White. She had thought about.
I don't give a shit what Madonna said in her
whatever.
Speech. Madonna does not represent the Women's March, and the right wing wants to act like she does. Fuck Madonna. She can go suck it, or not. I just don't care.
Well, do you want to compare?
Nothing against or for. So what you asked why I wanted to bring it up, and I'll tell you why.
Go
because
ahead.
they're scrambling for a way to criticize this march.
Of
So they
course.
have that lie that I can tell you. My girlfriend asked me, and I asked, "Is it okay if I mention your question to me in the podcast?" She said, "Sure." And I said, because she asked, what if they did show up? What if there was people who were pro-life, but they wanted to stand up for, equal rights for women? Okay.
How about getting paid the same as men?
Right. And they want to send that message to President Trump. She's like, would they accept her? I'm like, absolutely. And I'm like, and I saw some signs that I was like, that kind of made me tilt my head for a minute and go, oh, they kind of believe something a little different than me. And then but I don't even remember what those signs says because she didn't care. And nobody there was like, wait, you're pro-life? Fuck you, you can't be here. No, the attitude was, wow, you're pro-life and you're still here to stand up for women's equality? Bitchin', sisters, let's do this shit together. Awesome. You know what I mean? And
it was very much about inclusion, from what I gathered. Everybody seemed to be included. It wasn't. I mean, obviously, I'm a man. I went to a women's march. I'm a white man in my 50s. I mean, I'm the demographic that voted for Trump, bro.
Right.
And I even told the wonderful black lady I was having barbecue with, shit doesn't happen until the 50-year-old white man stands up and says this is fucking wrong. When white people started standing up for black people in the 60s is when they started getting equal rights.
Right. I'm sorry if I got super defensive and I didn't mean to direct that at you, bro. It's just I am frustrated with it because Madonna does not represent the Women's March.
No, and I get it, but I'm just saying this is what the right is clinging to. He also sent me a link to a video on YouTube of a protester, and it was definitely a women's march protester because there were pink hats behind him. A protester punching a reporter in the face. Basically, he hit the camera, and the camera hit her in the face.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. So I looked at the information on this video on YouTube, and it was from Alberta, Canada. And it started out with the guy being already aggravated by whatever she said, but you don't see what the fuck she said that aggravated him. So I'm like, the video's a little skewed is one thing, and you're pulling one dude from Canada, from a march in Canada, is what you guys are clinging to right now? Come on, man.
Right.
And I sent him, the clip from Snopes.com today about the streets of LA being filled with 750,000 people and LAPD reporting no arrests.
Right.
So, anyways, let's get back to the. Are you done with the march? It started out with the pro-life march, and you got lost, but you made it back to the San Francisco march.
Right. So I ultimately make it back. I make it to the San Francisco march, and I cruised around. And when I was in Oakland, there was these really beautiful signs that it's like I can never remember her name. Sally Rivet. I can never remember her name, but she's from the muscle and she's the girl, but she was actually Captain America, and it's a women's not Captain America, but Uncle Sam, but it's her, the Rivet, Sally.
Right, I know. Rosie the Riveter, bro.
Rosie the Riveter, thank you. And she's Uncle Sam, and it's for the Women's March, and it has San Francisco, LA, and San Jose, and of course they're just handing them out, and they're beautiful screen printed posters, and I couldn't find the person that was handing them out. I'm sure Joe and Paige were so tired of hearing me whine about wanting my damn fucking poster, and I never did find one. And I thought, okay, when I get to Oakland, or when I get to San Francisco, though, I'll be there early, maybe I'll get lucky and get one, and no, I didn't. But there was people that were, they're called, I want to give you the name, they're poster syndicate out of San Francisco. They do screen printing posters, and they were screen printing and just handing them out for free. And I got a couple really bitchin' ones. I'll send you the pictures so you can show people the ones I got. And one of them was from, there was a march in San Francisco the day before that was a very specific anti-Trump Inauguration Day march, and I got a poster from that. And it was just so bitchin'. It's just such a spirit of giving at these types of demonstrations, man. And so, that was when I first got there and saw the screen printing things, and I just cruised around and checked it out. And so as I was getting there, there was already a lot of people there, a lot more people that were there than were at Oakland when I first got to Oakland. A lot more people.
Okay.
But still, it hadn't even gotten close to full capacity yet. And I was about an hour, like I said, an hour before, maybe a half hour before it was scheduled.
Oh, really? What time, can I ask what time it started?
3. So I was
Oh, okay.
So I got there about 2:30, right? So I missed the speeches in the very end of, I missed the demonstration portion of the Oakland. They were still marching, and people hadn't started the speeches or whatever yet when I split to go into the city. So I get there, and and to be perfectly frank, man, I was already pretty wrecked. I left the house at 6. It's 2:30 now, and I've been on my feet all day, like you said, but 2 marches and BART rides, and so I cruised around and got a good feel for the place, and tried to get some good footage and video and images from, and talked to a few people here and there, and there was people, I don't know what they were, but I suspect maybe they were Cacophony Society people. I have no way of knowing, but I had some pictures of them, just this amazing makeup that were on some people. Yeah, it's so festive, and especially in San Francisco, dude, which is such a arts-oriented freaking thing to begin with, and that's where they're handing out free posters and all this stuff. And like you said, Mike, you saw it in LA, in both Oakland and San Francisco, all kinds of different socialist organizations with booths selling books, handing out stuff, giving away free things, pamphlets.
Yeah, women's organizations.
Right, all that kind of stuff. And so yeah, I only hung around in San Francisco for maybe an hour or so, because I knew I had to get back in and get BART all the way back from its starting point to its ending point, then get back in the car and drive back.
You and me both, starting point to ending point.
Right, so I was done. So I was pretty much done. So, but it was amazing, Michael. I got to experience 2 monumental historic demonstrations in one day, and I got to tell you, man, for how down and frustrated and almost lost I felt from the result of this election, I was so reinvigorated and encouraged that not only am I not alone, we're in the majority, dude. Fuck his side.
Definitely. There's more of
his
us
silent
than there
majority
are
is
them.
alive. That's right. So it was just amazing. So yeah, I got a little. I made a 3rd video now, and it's the montage of what I saw in San Francisco, and followed by some punk rock songs, I imagine.
Yes, punk rock songs, UK subs, and Against All Authority in our last set.
And we'll come back and recap and talk about maybe the right-wing response a little bit, kind of the issues and broader ramifications of the demonstration in general, and our thoughts on that. Sound good to you, bro?
Sounds good to me, bro.
Time, baby, would you please open your mind? All the devils that you're so woke, and don't forget to share the wine. Let's go inside. Liberate the spirit, start the fight. Would you love it if I am doing some of the life out of your blood? I will give you someday, you will get what forever comes around. It's in the cry. Disappearing dreamers, lovers die. Get out! Get out!
okay, that was video I got of Native Americans that were in solidarity with Standing Rock, doing a women's prayer circle.
That was beautiful.
Wasn't that cool?
Yeah, it really was.
They were just standing right there as we were trying to leave, the main area there. We're walking along the side of the street, and they were just right there. They come walking right up. And then as we were headed back towards Pershing Square, we could catch the train, the subway there was a group of Mexican Americans dressed up in native costumes that were in solidarity with Standing Rock, as well as the march that we had going on. That was very cool. So,
because yes, they have just we don't have to get too much depth on it, but yes, things have been halted for now.
Yes,
on the Dakota
right.
Access Pipeline. Okay,
let's not. We need to get started. Rick Perry is the Department of Energy is
right.
on the board. It's just
Trump is invested in the company.
It's not over.
Right.
No, it's not over.
I may be wrong, but I think Pence is also invested. But I know Trump is.
Trump is
for sure. So I mean, yeah, and the Standing Rock tribes and the Sioux tribes and stuff, they know that. They know it's not over. It's not over.
Right, and one of the things that I wanted to say is that, this protest was about everything. It was about a lot of stuff. It was anti-Trump. It was pro-environment. It was pro-equality. It was pro-women's rights. It was pro-LGBT rights. There were signs everywhere that stated that same thing. This was not just a pro-choice march at all whatsoever. It was
through the lens, through the lens or the filter of the woman's perspective. It was half of the human population.
More than half.
Right? Half of the more than half of the human population.
More than half.
So more than half the human population, basically. Now, of course, not every woman, and there are women who hated that demonstration happened. But the collective female consciousness overall said, everything that you stand for, Donald Trump, we're against. And it's going to hurt us as women, and we're terrified of you. And because we're terrified, we're not going to fucking take it. We're not going to stand and sit down and take it.
And it was like I said about white men standing up and saying, hey, because I am the least oppressed.
Right.
I don't know what it's like to fear getting pulled over by a cop every time I drive my truck.
Right.
I don't know what that's like. I'm the least oppressed. So when from my understanding, when somebody like me stands up and says, no, fuck that, you're oppressing these people and you're oppressing these people and so forth. Everybody, it's equality for all, not just for 50-year-old fat white boys.
And you know what else, dude? When you go clean a pool, the people living there don't comment on your hair that day or your figure or the skirt you're wearing. They ask you how the filter in their fucking pool is doing. You know what I mean? Like, a woman has to know that, like, in the job, that every day in, day out, they experience that. We don't. And when a woman treats us that way, we're like, gee, a girl likes me. We get all mad.
I get so, yes.
They get that constantly. Like,
I just get so angry that in this day and age, bro, they don't get paid the same that we do.
I know.
75 cents on the dollar. That's fucking ridiculous to me. I thought when I was a little kid they got this taken care of. Because I was like, why the hell not? I'm a little kid. Why not? If she could do the same thing, pay her the same. If she can't, I understand that. But if the woman's doing the same damn thing a man's doing, she should get paid exactly the same. Bottom line. I can't believe we're still fucking protesting this shit.
And there's, there was all these, one of the things that was so overwhelmingly amazing was seeing the grandmother, mother, daughter, granddaughter combinations of families at that demonstration at both Oakland and San Francisco. I'm sure you saw it in LA. Like, I saw more than one representation of 4 generations of women and families coming to this.
I don't know if I was paying that much attention, but I'm sure there were.
I did. I saw it. I saw all over the place, man. And I'm gonna say either lowest estimation 5-to-1 female to male ratio, possibly 10-to-1 female to male ratio. I mean, there was a lot of men, but I mean, we were way outnumbered, bro.
Oh my God, way outnumbered. I was outnumbered by lesbians.
Whatsoever. a woman's march, bro. It was a woman's march, and women's issues were at the forefront all day, everywhere. At least from what I saw.
One of the things I forgot to say is, as we were marching out, is that we passed a whole group of gay guys that were all had black shirts on that said "We're with you," and they were yelling, "We're with you, we're with you," and they had all these signs. Like you're seeing the pictures now. They had all these signs. That was great. I walked by and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "These signs are what? These are kind of funny." And I'm like, "Oh, it's the gay guys. It's the gay boys." I'm like, "That is so awesome." That was just incredible. It was just a complete. To me, seemed like so much solidarity with everything.
What is it? I was made by a woman, or I came. From
I owe my life to a woman.
Yes. I saw that more than once from a member of our LGBTQ community.
I was there. They were in full force where I was, and it was awesome. I mean. It was incredible, and I just love to see that side of it.
It was like cultural sensory overload in Oakland and San Francisco. I can tell you that, but that's Oakland and San Francisco in general.
I was so packed
just,
in like a sardine, bro. I was in this like you've overloaded my space. Right. I need to go sit on the corner of the street somewhere and get some space.
So let's talk a little more. We talked in one of the earlier segments. A little bit about the Republican perception of it and how they want to make it all out to be, look what Madonna said, so the Women's March is nonsense, and how I yelled at you almost because you even brought up Madonna. Now look, for the record, I don't hate or dislike Madonna. Actually, I'm from the 80s, dude. Lucky Star and Desperately Seeking Susan. I'll always have a teeny special place for Madonna in my heart, man. But I don't give a fuck. I never wanted to buy that stupid ass sex book and fucking with this metal cover and shit. Fuck Madonna and what she said. She was an idiot to get up there and be so foul-mouthed because it was such a primarily look, dude. None of the chants were like fuck this fascism, fuck it's got to go. None of the chants. They were all very child-friendly, aware and conscious of the many thousands of children that were there. And for Madonna to do that, I think the right wing, if they want to criticize her for that, they have every right to, and I think they're justified. But if they want to attach her as a representative or a voice of the Women's March, you got it wrong, dude. Because the voice is every woman on the planet.
I don't see that, bro.
And I'm not saying you, Michael. I'm sorry. I do that a lot, and I don't mean you. I know you don't think that.
No, but I'm just saying I know.
To the right wing. I'm telling the right wing.
I don't think they see that, though. Gloria Steinem spoke in Washington, bro. America Ferrera spoke in Washington. This is the reason
I bring it up, though, Mike, because I was talking about this with Kylie, my girlfriend, and I was saying, she was asking me, have you seen stuff that's like the right-wing response to it? And I'm like, to be honest, no. It's kind of, for the most part, kind of quiet. And I said, I think what that is because they're struggling to find something, even a bullshit something to go, see, this is why it's lame.
Of course.
And, I did see a couple photos. Kylie was able to find them, and she showed me of a massive pile of fucking signs on the ground. And I can't remember what city it was in. And it was gross. And if that's real and not a doctored picture, which it looks like it probably was a legit picture, dude, I just don't know the source of it. That's fucked up, people. Don't leave all your fucking shit on the ground.
Well, Aaron, now remember, they weren't expecting 750,000 people downtown LA.
I also reached that same conclusion. And Kylie was even like, but look at the end of a football game. And I said, what is a football stadium? You're right. What does a football stadium seat? 50, 60,000? There was 750,000 people in LA.
Right.
So,
and there weren't trash cans anywhere.
Football stadium, so you're going to have trash. So, but still, the reason it's important, Mike, is because I'm looking to see what is the right wing going to finally latch onto to go. Because they have to find some way to discredit the largest protest in human history. It's going to be hard for them on this one, dude. But
well, they've got their talking points.
They've got. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think they were struggling in the first day to find them. Usually they're pretty quick, but now I think they have them. There's a little bit of garbage. Madonna ran her mouth, okay, and
do we want to talk about the anti-Barack Obama protest that happened after his inauguration, where they burned him in effigy, and they turned over trash cans and started fires and did shit like that? None of that happened this time. I
No,
didn't
none of
see.
that happened.
Did you see Trump's
No,
effigy
Michael, stop.
burned?
Stop. I have to back you up. You're wrong. It did happen. There was serious violence on the day of his inauguration.
The
man.
day
They
of his
torched-
inauguration.
they torched that fucking
That's
limousine.
different.
They smashed the windows at Starbucks and Bank of America, and there was violence. And then
Okay.
the cop response was disgusting. There's footage going around of cops fucking macing old women, crippled people, and children, bro. And then a dude comes up and tries to help the old women, and they grab him and stop him and mace him in the face for it. And a bunch of anarchists come in and fucking take the mace in the face. Fucking heroes, bro. Take the mace in the face so that they can protect the old woman and the old crippled man and get them away from the onslaught of fucking pepper spray coming from those criminal pigs, dude. So,
Okay,
shit went
so
down. Shit
I wanna
went down, dude. That didn't happen at the Women's March. Nothing remotely close like to that happened.
Get your tinfoil hat out, bro. You want to talk?
Okay.
Let's talk about paid detractors. Let's talk about people who get paid to get in there and cause problems.
Right.
We already know that happened at Dakota Access Pipeline. There was a guy in there that had weapons, and the water protector found the dude and kicked his ass out. And he was from Energy Transfer Partners. He had everything was on Dakota Access. He had you saw that story.
Yeah.
One of Jared Kushner's buddies just got hired by as some White House correspondent, some White House dude. He's on the staff somehow now, and he worked for a company. I guess he was a dude that was. I don't know if he was hiring people to do this, but he was in a nightclub, and if black people came in, he was paid, or he paid a dude to go and start fights with them so they could kick him out of the club. So who's to say that the stuff that didn't happen on Inauguration Day, the burning of the limousine, and how do we know those weren't paid detractors?
I don't think they were. No, I think that was legit. I think those were young, pissed off, 20-something fucking anarchists. I think that was legit violence from the left, and I think we have to own it and accept that that was real. And I'm not even going to apologize for it, because they are a small handful of people who don't know how to focus their frustration and rage. But the very next day, millions and millions of people all over the world said, "Yeah, we're not about that. We're not about that. We're not
millions
about
and millions and millions all over the world." And you're right, and that's
came
what
out
I
the
wanted to
next
say.
day and said, "We're not about that violence."
Nope.
Yeah, there's members of our community. There's a very small fraction of our community that will act that way. But the rest of us, nah. You're not going to be able to saddle us to those isolated incidences. Sorry. And I think that it effectively did shut people up, because you were just seeing the limo and the broken Starbucks and Bank of America footage on repeat. It was on like constant, loop on the mainstream media until the next day when it was like, yeah, we're not.
Well, and the dude from Toronto, Alberta, that socked the reporter.
Right.
And Carly Fiorina saying that pro-lifers weren't welcome.
And that's a lie. Because they were very welcome, and so it's going to be interesting to see. I think they're just going to ignore it, dude. I think they reported on it. That's it. Well, they're ignoring it. They didn't. Well, yes, they can.
It fucking hurt his.
They just stopped talking about it. No, I'm talking about the mainstream media, dude. How are they going to handle this? What is going to be the response to this? I think they're just going to ignore it. I think
mainstream media.
Oh
yeah.
Thing in the night. And
it's over, dude. It's over.
And I think that the Trump administration is going to ignore it unless we keep it up. If we just let this be it, they're just going to go, stupid hippies. Anyway, what other fucking portion of the American populace can we loot and fucking shit on? That's the Trump administration agenda, and the banksters and billionaire class that own the Donald Trump administration. Their plans have not changed. They're chugging forward. They're on course, man. So we have to stay on course. We have to stay on course. We got their attention. We got their attention for real, I think, man. That's undeniable. You can't have the largest
I think we got their attention.
protest in human history and not get attention. But, man, we have to keep it going. It has to stay forward. Keep doing what we're doing. Keep doing what you're doing out there. Everyone that went to those protests, man, keep doing exactly what you just did the other day. Keep doing it. You were fucking awesome. You pulled it off. You're a badass. We did that together, man. We did that together, and we can keep doing that together, and we have to. Because if we don't, dude, he's appointing cabinet people who want to literally, and have said it publicly, destroy the departments that they're now appointed to be in charge of. This administration is all about the business of dismantling democracy once and for all. Everyone proceeding from probably Johnson through Obama and everybody in between has completely set up this administration to knock out the final last rungs of democracy. And it can happen. And it can happen real fast. Real fucking fast. And then we have Donald Trump forever. How long's Putin been in office, bro? I mean, he was president and then prime minister and then president or whatever. He bopped around.
I have no idea.
He did. But in those parliamentary...
Trump's already talking about 8 years. I can get this done in 8 years. 8 years? Fuck you, asshole.
I mean, hopefully, that puts him in his 80s. So, maybe we'll get 10, 12 years out of him before he leaves
Vegas is giving him 6 months, 4-1 odds at 6 months that he'll be out of there in 6 months.
That'll be out of office?
Yeah, 4-1 odds in Vegas.
That terrifies me because Pence is exactly the same. And then what's after Pence? Paul Ryan?
Oh my God.
Is Paul Ryan speaker, right?
The people have to
impeaching Donald Trump.
The gun-toting cousin fuckers have to will figure this shit out when it hits them in the pocketbook. Anna Kasparian said it on Young Turks. Facts aren't going to mean a thing until it hits them in the pocketbook. Until the economy takes a shit because of their fucked up economic plan.
What was that?
He's going to give tax cuts to everybody, not just the rich.
What was the thing that you posted in honor of Doodle McNoodle? What was that article about taxing homeowners?
Yeah, that went up 500%, $500 instantly as soon as he went into office.
Break that down for us a little. Break down the numbers of what that's all about. Just as best you can. Just a rough overview.
I have no idea what. I don't remember. I didn't read the whole article all the way through because I'm not a homeowner.
But it's a tax on a homeowner, right?
Yeah, tax homeowner.
Your average homeowner has money added on because Trump just did that. It's like his first thing in office, essentially, right?
For some reason, yeah. I don't know what it was exactly. Can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah. So I mean,
that's the kind of, anyway. Sorry that we sound like complete idiots talking about thing that
came out of left field. I didn't remember that.
But my point is that they're going to see that
once it hits them in the pocketbook,
and it's going to happen quick. They're going after. They're not even trying to hide it, man. They're going to go after him quick, dude. They're just.
Apparently,
I think a real revolution's coming, Mike. I think we're finally going to see it. I think that clampdown is going to hit real quick. I think it's.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, the resistance is strong, brother. When I got on that train in San Bernardino at 7:00 in the morning, all I could think of is the resistance.
What is that resistance going to do? Are they going to get constitutional amendments? Is that what they're going to do? I mean, and isn't the
we can start?
We have the NDAA. Let me say this, bro. The NDAA is in place that allows the military to police us. The Patriot Act allows for extraordinary rendition, which lets the president detain anyone for an indeterminate amount of time without legal representation if the president himself thinks you're a quote-unquote enemy combatant, whatever the fuck that means. Okay? They can lock us up, every single one of us, at any time and send us off to a fucking camp somewhere.
Sure.
And that shit is in place and ready to go. And we want to get real tall tinfoil hat. And about the FEMA camps and the dude I fucking talked to who had spent 6 months fucking welding handcuffs to the inside of rail cars out in Fallon. What is that for? I think it's for when millions of people take to the streets. We're loving and we're excited and invigorated by our unity today, but at some point that crowd's going to get pissed off and fed up and frustrated, and the tone's going to change, and when it does, Donald Trump has every fucking mechanism in place that he needs to cart you off in the train loads. And that scares me, Mike. Because that shit's real. I've seen the evidence that stuff exists. Those rail cars exist. The fucking FEMA camps do exist. Just because Obama didn't put anybody in them doesn't mean they aren't there. They haven't used all the mechanisms for a big brother totalitarian state. They haven't used any of it yet, but it's all there. And it's on paper legal when they want to put it in place. And it can happen in an hour.
There's more of us than there are of them, bro.
There is. But they got tanks and planes. It's scary. It sounds like a revolution.
I heard they're going to buy more.
I don't know how we're going to avoid the confrontation, bro. I don't want our side to bring a violent confrontation. And I want to be very clear that I am not advocating for that in any way whatsoever. But I'm scared that we may not have a choice, that it may just happen organically anyway. The battle lines, I feel, have been drawn. It's up to humanity to decide what that battle's going to be. Is it going to be World War III, bro? Are we going to implode on ourselves? Or are we going to do something more wonderful than the human species has ever done collectively in recorded history? It's kind of where I think we're at that point. We have to make that choice. Are we going to be wonderful, or are we going to just like fucking gnarly go at it with each other and fucking destroy shit? A lot of shit. More shit than ever destroyed in recorded history. I feel like it's kind of like black and white like that, man. I mean, there's hope mixed in there if you're really comprehending me. There is. But there's a hell of a lot of pessimism and defeat in there too, man. And like, it's funny, dude. We usually start our shows on these, everything sucks, everything's fucked off, and fuck everything, holy shit, what the fuck? And then by the end of the show, we're like, okay, as long as we do this, it's gonna be cool, bro. Hey, I love you, man. I love you too, bro. This one's I kind of took it in the opposite direction, I think.
I was thinking the same thing.
But I don't want to come off as negative. It's not negative. It's be aware. We have some very real existential choices to make in the here and the now. And they're very stark. And these are huge choices we have to make at this juncture in human history, man. It's really, really big. It's incalculably big. And I'm encouraged by the overall tone of that demonstration that we may go the right way. And I just don't want to derail so quickly, man. And so again,
we have to continue to get off our ass.
Really want to see what the fucking right wing is going to do now, man. We got to pay real close, man. Get your right wing watch, fucking get in right wing watch mode, man. I guess that's my advice to people.
What are they going to do? I'll tell you what they're going to do. They're going to lie. They're going to lie about the numbers. They're going to lie about the statistics because they already are.
Right.
They already have. They lied about the numbers. 1.5 million at his inauguration. I don't think so.
That's why we have to watch, not listen.
They're going to lie. They're going to lie.
That's not it. You don't listen to what they say. You watch what they do. That involves listening to what they say, but it's more than that.
No, you
don't just listen. You have to do your own homework.
You have to do your own homework because they're playing the fucking distraction game. Look over here. Look over here. Where I'm Spicer yelling and screaming about how many people attended the inauguration. But did you find out how many fucking presidential what do they call executive orders Trump signed on the first day? I heard about one. I know he signed more than that. Did we hear about those? No. You know why? All we heard about was fucking how many people attended the goddamn inauguration. Yes, you're going to have to do your homework.
I need to do homework. He did a bunch of shit on day one.
He's already started on dismantling Obamacare. And I heard tomorrow that there's supposed to be maybe today, two ladies, two Congress senators or somebody that are supposed to come up with replacement ideas, bills to replace Obamacare. So they're doing the shit. They're not saying it because they're yelling and screaming. What's mainstream media yelling and screaming about? What are they distracting you with? Because that's what it is. They're distracting you.
Right.
And now it's big time. Now people, I think, are a little bit more aware. I
Right.
think right after the
agree.
election, people are a little bit more aware. And so now they just come out and lie. Alternative facts is what we
Right.
have now. Alternative facts.
And we're going to do our best to once a week help you with that if you care to listen to us. That's what our goal is going to be, is to filter that shit. We're going to take what the mainstream tells you and interpret it
Us.
for you as best we can. You know what I mean? And it tells us what the mainstream media is spewing to us. The message is trying, that the establishment, the elite, their media and their government are trying to feed you. And we're going to do our best to interpret that for you. Or at least, I think if you listen to us, you'll be able to do a fine job of interpreting it your own. You'll learn those skills. We're not geniuses coming down from the mountain handing down anything brilliant or difficult or hard to grasp and do yourself. You can do this stuff yourself. You just have to learn some new resources. You just have to
And you know what?
reorder and reshape the way you ingest media, and it doesn't involve watching cable news.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Mark.
I was just going to say, and you know what? If we fuck up or you disagree with us, call us. We'll put you on the show.
Yeah.
Let us know what's up. Call us out.
Yeah. I'm into that.
Yeah, what? On YouTube, Facebook, and GoFundMe, right?
Yeah. And
Once again, subscribe to the YouTube page because Aaron made all kinds of bitchin' changes to it.
thanks for saying that, man. I put a hell of a lot of work into making that page very user-friendly. It breaks it up into good categories and sections so you can personalize your experience on the Punks for Progress channel, man.
And then, hit us on Twitter, too, at Punks for Progress. Punks the number 4 Progress.
So before we head out, we got another little video, right?
Right, from the Oakland March,
okay.
right?
Yes, from the Oakland March. So it's just an impromptu singing of this little lie of mine during the actual march itself. And so enjoy, and just what a cool experience, huh, Mike? And,
Oh my God.
An honor to get to have been a part of that.
A privilege. It really was.
Well,
Yeah. I love you, man.
I love you too, bro.
Talk to you later.
Cool.
Peace out, guys.
We believe in science. Wind and solar power. Open up your tax return. Everyone is welcome here. This little light of mine.
Hi, neighbor. Welcome again to this neighborhood. I'd like to show you something. You know what this is? Maybe if I press this button. This is a cassette player with a little cassette in here, and there's nothing written on it, so we'll just have to play it to see what it is. Do you ever imagine things? Are they scary things? Are they scary things? Do you ever imagine things? Things you'd like to have? Did you ever see a cat's eyes in the dark and wonder what they were? Did you ever pretend about things like that before? Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Imagine every person that you see is somewhat different from every other person in the world. Some can do some things, some can do others. Did you ever think of the many things you've learned to do? Many things. Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow. Did you feel like going like that? Let's give the fish some food. Mr. McFeely, I didn't order any whistle. That's what they call these slide whistles. Did you feel like going like that? There are so many things to learn about in this world, and so many people who can help us learn. Did you ever grow anything in the garden of your mind? You can grow ideas in the garden of your mind. It's good to be curious about many things. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think. You can think about things and make believe. All you have to do is think, and they'll grow.